Hi guys, in this lesson for lesson 2, I'm going to be going in and showing you how to use some simple tools in Illustrator in order to make, for your project, a Snapchat geo filter, which is pretty cool and pretty fun. I know when I do this with my students, they absolutely love it. And I also get to do it for graphic design stuff. So I'll do it for weddings and things like that. So let's go ahead and get started. So first and foremost, if you have Illustrator open, and I want to start with shapes first. So let's start nice and simple. If I come over here on my tools, okay, if I click here where my rectangle is, okay, that's my rectangle tool. So I can draw different rectangles with that, okay. I can also, if I right click on it, I can change to different shapes. So I can have like circles, I have a star tool where I can make stars, etc. Okay, that's very easy and simple to use. Now, something that's a little different in Illustrator that hopefully you guys have gotten used to is you don't have to switch layers in Illustrator. You just can come in and click on the specific shape. And then when it has these little transformation controls around it, these little dots, that means that that's what you're changing. You're changing that specific shape on that item, okay? Let's go ahead and let's change the color of these. So if I come over here, I need to double click, okay? Now I'm gonna select pink and look at here. For some reason, my colors are defaulted to black and white. So that's something that can get a little bit tricky. So I'm gonna open up my swatches panel, or my color panel, I'm really sorry. And I'm gonna go here. So what I did is I opened up my color panel, which by the way, you can go to window and then color if you can't find that. Right here, there's an option box. Right now it's set to grayscale. Sometimes, depending on what you worked on the last time, or I was messing around with some symbols earlier, it changed it to grayscale. Go ahead and you can set it to RGB or CMYK. Okay. Now you can see here, this has come in at the correct color, which is nice. We'll make this a different color. See, again, this one, okay, it changed to grayscale just because I was working on something else. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to make a box. So I'm dragging right now with my mouse. It selected all of these items, and I'll just go like this, CMYK, okay? Now I should be able to come in. It's still not changing. Silly thing. There we go. CMYK. Right. For this one, I'm actually going to go in and I'm going to change this to like green. And let's say I want a stroke color on that. I want a nice little border. Okay. Maybe I want it pink. I can change that to pink. Okay. Which is very light, but you can kind of see it. So that's how you use the shapes in here. Okay. With the shape tool, like with this rectangle, there's a new option. So some of you might have this and some of you may not. You can click on that inner dot, and as I pull forward, it will actually round that edge for me. I can also hover over any of these little anchors right here, and then I can rotate this. I can also pull it and I can stretch it, make it as large as I want it to be. I can do the same thing with the oval. I can also do the same thing with the star. So you can kind of see where I'm going there. Now to move along, you also have something called your symbols, right? So the symbols palette, you're just gonna go to window and symbols. These are just some pre-loaded symbols for you to use, which is really, really nice. So as you saw there, I just dragged and dropped whatever symbol I wanted. I'm gonna make this bigger so you can really see it. This one's kind of a cool spirograph little texture guy, okay? So if I click on this, it's obviously black, but look here. I can't apply any color changes to it yet. I can't do any of that. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to use this little break link to symbol tool. When I click on it, now you can see I can change the color. So I can come in here, we'll change it to red. Okay. And then now I can use that however I want it to be. In addition to that, if I come to my symbol my symbols, I'm going to open up my symbol library. So if you come here, so where I went, so there's this little drop down here, click it. Open symbol library, and there's a ton of stuff for you to choose from. So for instance, I'll click Tiki, a new box will pop up. And unfortunately, these aren't the largest things in the world, but let's say in my design, I want a giant palm tree. Okay, so now you can see from there, I got my giant palm tree. It's beautiful. You can close out of that, right? You could do some waves down here, something fun, maybe for a beach thing, right? And then in addition to that, so you have your symbols, okay? I can break this too if I want. And now if I wanted like a darker green, I could come in here and select that. Now I would have to use this little direct selection tool. This will select your entire project. If I click off of that and then click this one, this white one, I can select just that area right there, and then I can change that color. So then I could have it be like a darker green. Okay. So that is how you do those types of things. Okay. And then last but not least, text. Text, you're just going to use the text bar or the text tool, just like you did. You can see I'm typing. And this is all similar. So all of your font sizes are up towards the top. Okay. Okay. And you can mess around with the fonts. Something that's kind of cool that you can do if you, so like right now I have this and I want it to be really big. I can mess with my font size up here, but if I already know I want this like this, I can right click and I can do, I lied. I'm gonna go to Object, they moved it on me. So here it is, Create Outlines. It used to be under Object a long time ago. So I'm gonna go to Type and then I'm gonna do Create Outlines. What that does is it makes this a shape for me. So I can stretch it out, I can make it nice and tall. And what's nice about having things being outlined, if for instance, I made this design and then I wanted to send it to a client, if they don't have my font, this may not come out the same. So if I make an outline of it, it turns it into a shape and it ensures that that will not change. It'll always be a part of my design. Sometimes what I do, I'm gonna step back here a second. Sometimes what I'll do is if I really like something or I like that font, I'll throw this over to the side because that's not gonna be on my picture. And then I'll do Create Outlines here. And then I can mess around with this. My font, my original stuff is here that I can edit. And then here, I can just mess around with my size. So if that's something that you need, that's really nice too, okay? So those are the tools that you will need to create your Snapchat filter. So what I would suggest first is kind of go in, mess around with all those tools, make sure that you can master them. And then here in a little while, I will actually make you a video that walks you through that template as well for your Snapchat filter. Have a great day, guys.